Have you ever just thought about the planet you live on today? When we live our day-to-day lives, we forget how truly small we are. We are just on a floating sphere that is in orbit in space. There's so much about outer space that is unknown. Unknown planets, galaxies, and possibly extraterrestrial creatures. Well, we won't get into that today. But what about the millions of space rubble that can be found all across our galaxy? We are vulnerable to the possibility of us crossing paths with the space debris, better known as asteroids. It could cause havoc on our cities and destroy the environment. Would we meet the same fate as the dinosaurs? If you ever wondered what to do if the news articles are finally to be true, no need to worry, you've got us. Survival Daily has got you covered. Space debris falling onto our Earth is more common than you would think. Roughly about 100 tons of cosmic dust falls on our Earth per day. Where does all of that even go? In reality, most of it dissipates in our atmosphere, leaving trails of light that you once wished upon. Or maybe still do. Better known as the shooting stars in the sky. But in rare instances, these shooting stars can actually survive Earth's atmosphere and impact the ground, causing explosions. The size of asteroids can range anywhere from a speck of dust to 587 miles in diameter. Just imagine how much destruction that big boy could do. Luckily, these large space objects can be spotted way ahead of time by asteroid watchers. But what if there is nothing that can be done to stop them? How would you survive? Let's take a look at what has happened in the past. You may be thinking about our distant prehistoric friends that went extinct. Theory says that it was an asteroid that landed in the Gulf of Mexico that caused the mass extinction of those gigantic creatures. But there was actually an event that happened more recently, about 114 years ago. This event was the largest asteroid impact ever recorded. It happened in Siberia, Russia, and it is known as the Tunguska explosion. The blast releases enough energy to flatten 830 square miles of over 80 million trees in the area. It is said that the asteroid didn't even impact Earth, but the explosion itself was able to cause that mass destruction. Just imagine if that asteroid would have hit Earth. We might have been knocked out of orbit. If it was ever discovered a similar asteroid that was headed our way, how should you prepare? Here are 4 tips on how to survive an asteroid. Tip number 1. Leave the impact area immediately. If you live within the impact zone, evacuate immediately. Whether it was spotted before the strike or it's already struck, you want to make sure you're urgent. So yes, that means leaving behind your Pokemon card collection. Make sure to pack a lot of food and water for the ride. If you're traveling by car, you want to head out as soon as possible to beat the traffic. Chances are, you will be faced with other panic drivers also trying to evacuate. With collective stress levels on the rise, you should be cautious, as people tend to do crazy things when they are very panicked. If you can't escape in time, brace yourself for harsh earthquakes. Stay away from tall buildings, and find a safe, sturdy place to provide cover and safety. If you happen to live by the ocean coastlines, get to higher ground immediately. Asteroids will cause major tsunamis that will result in devastating damage to anything in its path. They will hit at speeds up to 500 miles per hour, so you don't have much time to spare. If the asteroid impact is across the world, it will impact in about a day's time. Make sure you use that time wisely. Tip number 2. Find a bunker. If you manage to escape the impact of the asteroid, chances are your survival game is not over yet. A collision to this Earth can cause devastating impacts to the environment. Meteorites from the asteroid would be launched into our atmosphere and dispersed across the world. This would create fireballs from the sky to rain down on everything. Fireballs would be causing mass destruction by shooting into buildings and starting fires everywhere. That's one hailstorm you do not want to be caught in. You want to find a bunker that has thick, concrete walls to protect you from these dangerous strikes. You may be here for a while, so definitely listen closely to the next tip. Also, you may want to bring some good company to be around with you. You will be stuck together for a long time. Tip number 3. Having a lasting supply of food and water. The impact would likely cause a large buildup of dust that could block the sun from Earth for a while, also causing all of the plants in the world to die off. The explosion itself can wipe out miles of land and food sources. Be sure that your bunker is stacked with plenty of food for a long time. I am talking, this could be years of darkness across the world. It may also be smart to have a sustainable garden growing underground and a reliable water source to extend your chances of survival. Unless you're okay with eating canned fruit and veggies for a while. Thinking of different ways to be self-reliant can definitely increase your chances of survival for the long run. Tip number 4. Pray this never happens. While the chances of this happening are very rare, you can still do your due diligence and pray about it. With technology, we're able to track these notorious space rocks and predict if an event like this will happen. At a minimum, we will have time to prepare for an apocalyptic event. Hopefully, with future technological advances, we will be able to in the future fend for our floating sphere in the vast unknown space. If an asteroid does happen across our path, let's hope it lands in the vast ocean instead of on top of our cities. If this does happen, you want to make sure you're well prepared for a tsunami. Make sure to watch our video, How to Survive Tsunamis, to know what to do if this happens.